Hello everyone, you are on the Vamos channel. Here you can find a true passion for the #1 game, so if you love football with all your heart, don't think too long and give us a subscribe. Here we are going to discuss everything you've been concerned about. Over the past few years, Alvaro Morata has developed from a promising Real Madrid graduate into a meme striker. He has something of a Chelsea-era Fernando Torres, Choupo-Moting, or the recently retired Lord Bendtner. Unfortunately, this something is constant misses from killing situations that drive fans crazy to the point of them sending death threats. If Filippo Inzaghi was called a forward who played on the verge of offside, then Morata went to the next level. He always gets into an offside position. How many goals of the Spaniard were cancelled because of that? 10? 20? UEFA is even considering releasing a separate referee to count Alvaro's new records. But this is of course a joke. The only problem is that behind the comedy mask of Morata's gaming style, there are not the most funny stories that could easily break everyone. We are about to share all the reasons for the unsuccessful play of the attacker in this video. But first, check the subscription to our channel, the button should be gray, and give this video a like in case we have already managed to interest you. Let's get going! What did Morata show in the Euro group stage? Absolutely nothing. He started 3 matches, shot on target 10 times in total, had 5 clear scoring chances and netted only against the post. Add a miss on the finish in a penalty kick in the empty net of Wojciech Szczesny, an unrealized penalty kick against the Slovaks. Isn't it a sick mixture for self-flagellation? But what an additional blow to his pride Alvaro got after he was substituted in the clash with Slovakia by Ferran Torres and the Man City winger succeeded with the first touch. Well, this seems unimaginable to feel. And no matter that the experts say that the main thing for the national team is to score points and get victories. For the striker, the main thing is goals. They have always been, are, and will be important. This idea was confirmed by Morata himself after the game against Sweden. This striker lives by goals. That's our job. In the last game, I was very tired. But I understood my partners on the pitch well, but in the end, there were only goals left. It's a little difficult, as people can criticize us, but that's what we assume, said the Juventus forward. The biggest problem for Morata is that such bad luck has accompanied him throughout his career. But there is a logical explanation for this. He is a centre forward and he has played in those clubs where a huge pressure is put on him. Chelsea, Atletico, Real Madrid, Juventus. All these teams, adjusted for the manager, relied on one forward. That really messed the guy up and made him constantly feel responsible not only for his own results, but also for the results of the whole team. And what do you think this led to? That is right, he was very close to drowning in the abyss of depression. Like Josip Ilicic from Atalanta from last season. You constantly overthink yourself. I need a goal, I need a goal. The more you think, the harder it is to score. Goals are pouring when you play with a smile, and I'm more likely to dig into the analysis of my mistakes. Even the most famous banker of the football world, Maurizio Sarri, called forward's head he's the main problem. He could be the best forward on the planet. He has what it takes. But Alvaro's problems are in his head. He can't calm down at the right moment. Fortunately, Morata did not bury himself in his difficulties and found another way of expressing his feelings by visiting a psychologist. Thanks to him, the guy was able to throw all the crap out of his head and more easily react to life's failures. Although since childhood, he was an insanely receptive and emotional child. It began with him at the age of 15, when the future star no, it's better to say the starlet of European football thought to go in tennis. It was difficult for him to accept the first serious defeat in his life back then. He lost a place in the U15 to a boy named Borja Baston. Have you heard of him? The guy started at Atletico, had a bunch of loans in Swansea, Malaga and Alaves after that, and currently plays for Leganés. So Morata thought he could handle the racket much better than the ball, but according to the guy, he lacked patience for tennis. Moreover, people close to the striker insisted that it was a must for Alvaro to make everything perfect. Maybe that is why he didn't stay in any club for more than 2 seasons. Former Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Green also opened the door to the player's personality in an interview. He wasn't just struggling in games, it was in training too. At practice, his shots were finding the railway line at the back. Then we were worrying for him. Everybody has bad days, but when you think of Alvaro, he has always been grumpy. Yeah, such a perfectionist our today's hero is. Now, when we like a hyperloop flew over the background of Morata's personality and climbed into his head, let's move on to an urgent problem. Threats to kill him, his wife and children. They appeared after that ill-fated match against the Slovaks, when Alvaro missed a penalty. Although Furia Roja battered the rivals to pieces 0-5, the fans still had something to complain about. I understand that I'm criticized because I haven't scored a goal, but I wish people would put themselves in my shoes and understand what it's like to receive threats, people telling you your children should die. Creepy, isn't it? The same thing happened after the game with Poland, when his wife and children supported Morata in the stands. They were booed, shouted at, and the hero of our release himself couldn't sleep for 9 hours. I think now everyone understands why the forward turned off comments under Instagram posts. Although he admitted that he constantly puts the phone down while resting, still, absolutely everyone can go nuts after waves of annoying notifications. How can you not understand such actions of a guy when he is threatened with violence and swears every time? Luckily, the national team for which Alvaro performs has a great atmosphere. His teammates are always ready to help and support him. For example, Koki defiantly condemned the negligent fans and hugged his partner tightly after the game. The boss of Spain, Luis Enrique, generally urged the police to be more attentive. Subsequently, Morata scoring a goal against Poland and running straight to the coach is not a coincidence. But whatever things were at the group stage, they are history. Spain passed Croatia with great difficulty, and Morata played an important role in this event. Yes, he once again screwed up 5 or 6 current chances, but he didn't give up. He continued to disturb the checkered one's defense, pressing and pressing throughout the match. As a result, in the first overtime, it was he who brought Furia Roja ahead, making the score 3-4. Morata slammed the damn ball into the net, almost breaking it. At that time, it was already clear that Spain would win, because the soldiers of Zlatko Dalic had no strength left. But what joy was Morata! He not only brought his team forward and in fact brought the victory, he ridiculed all the haters and mentally broke the fingers of those who were preparing to write another bunch of malicious comments. Gary Lineker described his goal in the best way possible. Love that Luis Enrique stuck with Morata. Love that Morata has stuck a huge middle finger at his social media abusers. Yes friends, in this video we show that Alvaro Morata is an absolutely controversial footballer. He loses a lot of chances from killing positions, constantly gets into an offside, but works hard in pressure for a 3 and is not worthy, like any other person, to listen to threats against the most valuable thing we have, the family. And if the questions about how cool footballer he is will be raised during the spell of his career, then the answer to the question what kind of person he is, pretty simple. Morata is a good man and kind guy who worries too much about his family, team, and everyone who surrounds him. No one hesitates to prove him wrong in that matter. Do you think this goal by Morata against Croatia will help him gain momentum and continue to help the squad in the remaining stages of the playoffs? It will be very interesting to know your opinion in the comments below. And on this note, we are to end the release. Vamos channel was with you. Football is our great passion. Subscribe and stay with us. Bye bye!